You're very strongly pursuing something or somebody. There has been an issue I was hearing before this reading, like one or if not both of you have completely different ideas of what commitment really is. But I see external forces to you, other people, pressures outside of the relationship, being like very strong. Basically there's like something that like somebody really wants to exert what they want over you or around you. Okay, a lot of fire energy here, so you could be dealing with another fire sign, you could be dealing with even an earth sign perhaps, but it's all about something that you really want and you want to go after. We're going to look at these cards together, Sagittarius, but before we do, let me just pull up a couple more messages. Some major arcana cards coming through at the moment. Moon card and the Devil card. Something has happened in the past. I'm reading this more as past energies that have contributed towards you being like, screw this, I need to go after what I want now. Some of you had been involved in a very toxic, codependent and unhealthy relationship before in the past. This seems to be like something from, let's say, not your most frequent relationship, or certainly not the one you're in, but something that had left a lasting scar on you at one point. It really knocked your confidence, this relationship. Some of you took a very long time to be able to actually unchain yourselves from this. The Moon card in reverse. Things have kind of come to light now, I guess, and you're starting to be able to see a way forward. Things have been pretty unclear with you and the person you were dealing with, and I think this is what was coming through for me. Like, you guys have very different ideas about what commitment means at this time. You're very attracted to somebody at the moment, and likewise somebody is very attracted to you, so you are really like pulling towards that other person, and the feeling seems to be mutual. I think they kind of are considering maybe moving this along a little bit quicker than you, and that's where I think maybe this breakdown in communication around what commitment means is coming from. If you're not dating somebody super seriously, there does seem to be like perhaps a third party person involved here, or somebody else, or like dating multiple people I'm seeing. So let's look, we'll clear that up just to get specific on that. So let's clear up these cards together, Sagittarius, and we'll pull more messages. Okay, Sagittarius, let's look at the external forces. I see for some that there was like an argument about who was paying for what, and then there was like an argument about, oh, I always spend this amount, and something came up about that, or like an argument about selfishness or like being closed off. Okay, so let's have a look at these cards. So the Six of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. You're going after what you want, and it doesn't look like you're going to stop until you get it. So let's see, and I think you're going to get it. I see this being like all this fire energy in the reading. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, more Leo, more Aries, more Leo. Like there's just a lot of fire sign energy here all together. Let's look at these cards. You're not stopping until you get what you want. Seven of Swords. At all costs, it seems, you have had a breakthrough now about what you want in terms of this relationship, and you're not going to give up without it. You are aware that this isn't going to be easy. Despite the weather warning, Sagittarius, we're going to keep going until I get rained out of here. The King of Swords came through with these external forces of the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Magician card. It's telling me that, like, with this argument of, like, maybe it's about money, you never do this, or what do you bring to the table is the argument that's coming up. It seems like neither of you want to back down in any way on this. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and reading more cards. This was a toxic situation represented with the Devil card. Let's look further into it, and let's look at the Moon card in reverse as well in relation to that. You might even hear some thunder. You might even hear some lightning in the background. All about the drama here. Okay, so let's have a look at the Devil and the Moon card. Oh yeah. Some thunder, some lightning, all about the drama. And this was, wow, the Nine of Swords coming through with the Devil. It is pretty heavy energy, Sagittarius. This was a toxic relationship that you were in before, with a lot of arguing, all of these explosive rows and fights and like just crazy shit happening. And it was like one revelation after another revelation, and like the shit hitting the fan over and over again. Like, Yeah, it got a little bit crazy. It oftentimes got very heated. Okay, so there was a lot of unknowns after all of these arguments. You never got to the bottom of it, anything. You always just like brushed it aside. And I often think it was you, Sagittarius, just brushing shit to the side that you really needed to look at and you really needed to expose. It seems like for a lot of Sagittariuses, one argument was the straw that broke the camel's back and sent you guys spiraling even further into like kind of a darker place where you couldn't see how you were ever going to get back from this. As I said, that the Sun card is at the bottom of the deck. So something had to have been brought into the light so that it could then be properly looked at. Let's have a look at the Queen of Wands, and let's look at it with her King of Wands here. Okay, yeah, this is a couple that like are drawn to each other despite all odds. Could it be this person from the toxic situation still? You're still drawn to each other. There's like this sexual chemistry that is too undeniable for you. That's how it seems to me. Death card. Wow, big energies coming up. Wow, and the Chariot card. So 3 major arcana cards coming up in relation to this King and Queen of Wands. The World card, the Chariot, and the Death card coming through for this. Okay, let's see. What am I thinking? I'm thinking there's been this absolute tug of war between you two. Like, are we going to end it? Will we, won't we? Will we, won't we? It's like this big saga kind of love affair. You just can't fully end it, or you just can't fully get away from this person. The Death card talks about a need to like completely transform the relationship. So whatever you are doing or had been doing isn't working in this relationship, okay? So there is a need to transform it. For some of you, you're like taking something to the next level. That might be even going to work on this professionally with somebody. It might be even, you know, some of you are like, let's have a family now. Let's just start a family, and that will make everything better. Or, you know, those topics of conversation have been coming up, like if we just were able to get this house or buy this car, and maybe some of you are buying a car together, a house together, something that's like quite big. But yeah, this is big energy coming up around this couple. I feel like you're evolving towards the ending of something. Does that make sense? Like you're headed towards that direction. I talk about will. These cards are super like willful. Whatever these people, the Magician and the person in the Chariot, want, they will definitely surely make it happen. The Magician knows that they have a power within them to manifest what it is that they want into reality. The Chariot won't stop. They're very ambitious, and once they're on the right track, which for something is telling me you are about to be on the right track with something, Sagittarius. Like both of these cards are headed towards a direction that you are managing, and you're like you're putting it, like you're putting all your focus towards there, so then your action starts going towards there. The only thing that I feel missing from it is your heart, Sagittarius. I don't have a lot of emotion in this reading. I don't have a lot of love in this reading, to tell you the truth. It seems very passionate, yes. You know, sexual compatibility, oh yeah, for sure, and attraction to each other, but there's a power struggle here in this relationship, or at least like a power grab at all times, and it hadn't been you had been more passive. Temperance, this is you. Sagittarius is represented in the Temperance card. So Temperance coming up with the Ace of Swords and the 3 of Wands. For some of you, for your peace of mind, you just had to turn your back on this, and it became clear to you that this Death card does represent an ending. Scorpio season to Sagittarius season. If not, you're hoping by the end of the year you're able to move away from this relationship in some way and be freer and have learned a lot from it. From this Death card, we're reborn in Temperance, and we're elevated that way. We have our triangle pointing up, spirit pointing up, elevation, ascending, and transcending what this toxic relationship had meant for you. The Devil card, you are getting past, getting away from that. Could have been a Capricorn, could have been a Scorpio. Could have even been a Leo or a Cancer. I'm getting a lot of signs out here. But yes, okay, let's have a look at the 8 of Wands then. So I feel like pretty soon you're stepping into this energy of like moving on from it, or progressing it, or just doing something very momentous with it. What is going to happen? And this is pretty much like over the next few days, next couple of weeks. 9 of Pentacles. It's important for you now to start learning how it feels to be alone and doing things that you used to do with another person alone, whether it be just managing your home, managing the house, you know, and like keeping up on top of all your what you have to do, your to-do list. It's kind of like talking to me about taking a little bit of stock and inventory even at this time. Like consider what you need, what that person used to do for you that now you're going to have to do, or vice versa. Maybe they had like paid an insurance payment every month or something like that. Oh, I can hear that thunder rolling in now. Oh, the drama. Okay, so this is telling me that there might be some sort of a period of reflection coming up for you really soon, Sagittarius, in relation to this reading. Would that be to do with some sort of an ending that could be taking place, particularly if it's with a fire sign, and particularly if this fire sign energy really, like if you were with another fire sign or Cancer, I see that during Cancer season, Leo season, so that's around July, August, things were coming to kind of like the eye of the storm, so to speak, as we're in a storm now, and I feel like you know you're in the eye of the storm now. Right, I think that's what this video is going to be called, the eye of the storm. I'm certainly feel like it's about to lash rain any second, but I'm almost done. 3 of Cups in reverse. So one of you have, yes, been attracted to somebody else too, and that's what's making you want to move away from this. There was perhaps another person that caught your eye that was separate to the relationship, and it could have even been some. Now I see like all these cup energies coming through with this person. There might be somebody else that you actually have deep feelings for, or some feelings for, and that's why you can't surrender yourself fully to this current situation you're in. It seems like there are feelings for somebody else elsewhere, and that's when that kind of love and connection comes in. Let's have a look at the Emperor card. You just don't want it's hard, right? Because sometimes you've tried to back away from this person before and they haven't made it easy for you. Either you just, you know, they turn on the charm when they're around you, or they know your weakness, Sagittarius, and they exploit it, so it makes it very hard for you to back away from it. Let's see. Ace of Swords, but this is this clarity you have gotten about moving away from, especially if it's an Aries. Sagittarius with Aries, you're like, oh gosh, I'm out of here, I'm moving on from this, and I'm not interested in it anymore. Okay, finally let's look at the 8 of Pentacles. So by September, you are somewhat working on yourself in a larger way, and I think it comes from taking stock over the next couple of days to couple of weeks of what you need to manage alone and what you're going to need to look after. Maybe it's like RSVPing to something alone instead of with a person, okay? You are going to be recovering at this point from the 5 of Swords to the 6 of Swords. So it looks like if this is coming to an end, or when it does, you're kind of going to be in a very fraught situation with a lot of maybe even name calling, or like, you know, they may try to belittle you or play the victim in this situation. Know that you are going to be recovering from that by throwing yourself into work again, a solo project I see you working on, or even like working on yourself as a single person by the end of this reading. Okay, Sagittarius, now while that is a general message, it may not apply to all. I hope that you found some messages relevant. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And thanks for watching. Take care.